All right, everyone. DeSantis over in Florida is doing something that most of the cuck politicians at the state level in the U.S. are unwilling to do, which is actually bothering to criticize and do something about big tech, proposing that they punish big tech firms for political censorship. This is a good idea. The lines are being drawn right now. In some countries, you have very few countries in which, or states in the sense of certain nations as well, you have very few government or state bodies that aren't moving in one direction or the other on the topic of the internet. There's the old internet of 2000 to 2015, that era, 97 technically, back when much of it was text only. That internet is no longer. The Wild West era of the internet, unfortunately, has ended. Obama gave away basically the de facto ownership of the internet to the world at large. That started many of the problems we're seeing now. And you have certain groups, certain people, political ideologies that believe that we should go back to having a free speech, free expression, open and fair internet where people can express themselves, people can talk, they can attain catharsis, by the way, burn off steam without harming people, and innovate and generally be left alone, because the understanding is we've already had that sort of internet for about 2 decades, and it worked. The idea that the internet caused more problems than it solved is bunk. The idea, well, you have problems attendant with the internet. You have human trafficking, that happens, although it already existed to begin with. You have people planning terrorism, they were already doing that. Money laundering and scams, they were already doing that. In some cases it became easier, especially with phishing. But by and large, the problems that the internet is involved with were already pre-existent. The only difference is that they moved to an electronic platform. You can't really get rid of the scammers and the traffickers and stuff. You can punish them, go after them in the normal sense, but no amount of censorship is going to stop that material, or botting and spam and stuff. Which, by the way, botting should be literally unlawful, because it's literally violating others' right to speak freely when you're overriding them with a horde of bots. The good things about the internet, though, many of them didn't exist before the internet existed. And so what I believe in, and what the nation of Poland by and large believes in, DeSantis in Florida, it seems, increasingly people on the more populistic side of life, real libertarians, which means not the LP, and even some leftists, believe in having a free and open internet in which it's power to the people. It's highly democratized, decentralized, platforms are platforms, not publishers, and that's the way business should be done. Because of money, the big tech firms and nations that they specifically have bought up in many cases, the corporate CEOs, the banksters, and so forth, they see a threat to their prominence, the MSM as well in general. They see threats to their prominence by the fact that the internet is so open and so free. They're going in the other direction. They want the internet to be either Europeanized or China-fied, to the point of extreme state control and or corporate control. And really, that's the only difference between those people, is that some of them think the state should punish you for what you say. Others believe the corporation should do that on their own. I don't believe that either is the case. What we see right now is actually a false dichotomy being groomed by the MSM particularly, in which people are trying to be convinced that there are only 2 ways we can go. Either the state will control the speech online, or the corporations will keep doing it. Right-wingers should want the state to get involved. Left-wingers should oppose that. The corporations are people, my friend. It's odd because you got the left, by and large, the censorious leftoids and liberals are arguing for corporate control, and the supposedly conservative people are arguing for state control. It's goddamn wild right now. There's a third and much better way, which is neither of them should be controlling what you say. As far as platforms go, extend 230 and subjugate them to the idea that they will continue not to editorialize lawful speech. Okay, that problem's solved. No need for more corporate control, because it's now scam. If you want to be a publisher, that's fine. And a lot of sites are essentially publishers, someone's private web page or something. It's not a platform. But if you're going to explicitly be making your money by having a social media platform, you can have 230 protections, or you can declare yourself a publisher. The state, meanwhile, should be blocked from any form of legislation that overtly taxes or censors the internet. Yeah, in the United States, we should have a constitutional amendment banning the state, or banning all state entities and the federal government in every possible respect from interfering with the internet, beyond making sure that the judicial process is able to be brought to bear on platforms which misuse their moderation powers. That's it. Everything else, all the other problems attendant the internet would exist in real life already, like, again, trafficking and drugs and shit like that, and can be prosecuted using normal routes that have nothing to do with going after the internet in and of itself, which is simply a communications platform. There's no reason for any more state control. What we see is that the internet needs to be a dynamic and innovative place. It is the last frontier. Look, we're not exploring space yet. We're not colonizing Mars yet. For the next 50 to 100 years at least, communications, data, holograms, and shit like that, that's the new frontier. That's, therefore, where all of the coolness and innovation comes from. Just like TV and radio used to be the new frontier. Just like at one point, the telegraph, arguably in a way, was the new frontier. The printing press, you know, the old manual ones from the 15th century and stuff like that. You've got an information frontier attendant to the physical frontiers, which we've run out of. Every bit of land on the earth has been basically explored and colonized that's capable of being explored and colonized. I know you could find maybe some lost little cave out in the middle of the Sahara Desert and start your own little underground community and call it Little Lamplight if you want, but by and large, the land is taken up. You can have a little micro-colony like a sea land sort of thing, but try finding a spot that's not territorial water to put it in and then avoid all the pirates that'll come to strip the copper out of your wiring systems. Since there's no physical frontier, people are going to get bored, frenetic, and insane, and trust me, violence will spiral out of control and you'll see all sorts of problems in the world if we don't give people a data frontier. Let them talk freely. Let them do what they want. So thank you to DeSantis. You are officially the most sane governor. And keep in mind, this is Florida. Florida is not known for normal politics. It's not known for being non-corrupt. I don't think DeSantis is. When the Florida governor is the sane man in the room, you clearly have a cultural issue. That's about all. Peace out.